The top stories: Sudanese journalist hails Ankara declaration as a key step toward regional peace and cooperation. And the tourism expert says Ethiopia's diverse attractions and recent improvements position it as a top destination. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to EBC World English News with me, Shifa Raulaka, and many thanks for watching us. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia has expressed dismay over the statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the federal government of Somalia on December 23, 2024, which falsely accused Ethiopian forces of involvement in an incident in the town of Dolo, Somalia. The ministry categorically rejects these allegations. According to the ministry, the incident was provoked by elements seeking to undermine the progress made in normalizing relations between Ethiopia and Somalia. These third parties who aim to destabilize the Horn of Africa are long-standing spoilers of peace in the region. The ministry emphasized that such actions should not derail the commitment of both countries to peace as outlined in the Ankara Declaration. The government of Ethiopia reaffirmed its commitment to working with the relevant agencies of the federal government of Somalia to prevent similar incidents in the future. Ethiopia remains dedicated to strengthening fraternal relations between the two countries and will continue to promote the spirit of cooperation as expressed in the Ankara Declaration. The resolve and leadership of both nations will continue to drive their partnership and broader regional cooperation forward. The ministry's press statement reads: Meanwhile, Ethiopia and Somalia are reaffirming their commitment to bolstering bilateral relations. Top officials from both nations held discussions in Addis Ababa, pledging to deepen ties and uphold the Ankara Declaration. A Somali delegation led by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ali Omar, arrived in Addis Ababa on an official visit aimed at strengthening commitments outlined in the Ankara Declaration signed by the leaders of both nations on December 11. During the visit, Ethiopia's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Misganu Arga, met with his Somali counterpart to build on the declaration and explore new avenues of collaboration. Following their discussions, the two state ministers described the meeting as productive. They reaffirmed their shared commitment to strengthening cooperation and eliminating external factors that could hinder progress. The visit underscores a shared vision for enhanced ties and regional stability. Moving on, the House of People's Representatives has approved a proclamation establishing and administering a special fund for the Green Legacy Initiative and Degraded Land Rehabilitation in its fourth regular session. After reviewing the report and proposal presented by the Standing Committee on Plan, Budget and Finance, all members of the House deliberated and approved the proclamation. Members of the House stated that the proclamation is crucial to prevent land degradation and expand forest cover. They highlighted its significant contribution to accessing and utilizing funds allocated to combat climate change. It was also emphasized that the proclamation allows for government budget allocation for its implementation and will be beneficial for nurturing and developing forests. The chairperson of the Standing Committee on Plan, Budget and Finance, Desalegn Wadaj, pointed out that 54 million hectares of land in Ethiopia are degraded, with 11 million hectares requiring urgent intervention. The proclamation ensures coordinated federal budget support, enabling regional contributions and facilitating access to development partners, climate finance, and carbon market benefits, it was indicated.
To Piazza, then
the streets here are really very clean, damn clean, guys. I can say damn clean. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Cool.
Howdy.
Nice.
It's about
Bubbling.
ፈጣሪ ቸርነት ይኸው ደረስን።
ካቶኔ ቶሞኔ ለሞኔ ሀዲ ቀረንቺ ቀረሞይ ኮይ ሁንዲም ዮበዮን
Moving on, Ethiopia is a renowned tourist destination offering an array of attractions, including historic sites, breathtaking mountains, and vibrant religious festivals. With recent improvements in Addis Ababa, the city is set to compete with global tourist destinations, enhancing Ethiopia's tourism appeal. The government is investing in infrastructure, global market, ecotourism, security, and launching a tourism satellite account to position Ethiopia as a top destination. Tourism is vital to Ethiopia's economy, contributing 5% to GDP and 34.3% of exports in 2021. However, the COVID-19 pandemic caused a drastic 84% drop in international arrivals in 2020. Despite the challenges, Ethiopia has the potential to attract high-spending European tourists who prioritize sustainability. In an exclusive interview with EBC World, tourism professional Ashenafi Kasa emphasized the country's growing significance in the tourism sector. Have a listen to this.
Ethiopia is lucky enough, and we do also lots of efforts from the past, present, and we are looking for the future also to have headquarters for many international organizations. And this is a privilege for the tourism industry, because tourism exists when people are traveling from point A to the point B. On this traveling, they will be using accommodation, they will be traveling, and they will seeing and engaging in different activities. So having lots of international organization, and Addis Ababa is quoted as the third diplomatic capital in the world, it benefits us to attract many conferences, exhibitions, meetings. And this is one thing is good, that it gives, it helps for the image of the country and the city, which is very important, because tourism needs visibility. Visibility comes, one is through the coverage of medias. Through those medias can come through different events and conferences that happened. So having conference meetings and those things, one thing it helps us to understand, to clearly tell what Ethiopia image looks like currently, or the status quo. The other things, it initiates for people to travel. Those who come for the conference, they can come back again for a holiday or other issues when they have. And the other thing is, those who come in here will help us to tell about Ethiopia and what has happened in here, what they have visited and what they have seen to their families, their colleagues. And with that, we can have a flow of tourists that can be influenced by the conferences.
Now, Ethiopia has successfully hosted numerous regional and international institutions, and the rise in tourism conferences is a positive sign for the sector's growth. Have a listen to this.
One thing is the resource we have. Like Kenya, they call themselves Magical Kenya, Incredible India, Truly Malaysia, and the like. They use those mottos. If Ethiopia, like us, if we use uniquely Ethiopia, it will help us, because Ethiopia has a unique feature. Ethiopia has an all-in-one destination. We have the history, the culture, the paleoanthropology, archaeology, the modern also. If you see nowadays, Addis Ababa is highly civilized, or the infrastructure is more developed. And this will help us to compete with Asian and other Middle East countries like in Dubai or Singapore and like that. So having all the tradition or the past achievements and implementing or adding these new features will help us to bring more tourists and more travelers. When those tourists and travelers, they come, they will come to expand. When they are expanding, we will be earning. When we are earning, we'll make more and other infrastructure for the country and more developments to come. Maybe schools could be developed from the earnings of what we have. Health centers could be developed from the earnings what we have. And other service providers can be developed from earnings what we have. And this, we will employ workers instead of having immigrants to go out of Ethiopia or coming to Ethiopia. We can have our own economy to support for the job creation and generating income for the country.
Ethiopia's unique status as an all-in-one destination must be unlocked, offering a wealth of diverse attractions for travelers.
Addis is a bride now, to be said, because it's coming closer to the name it has. Addis Ababa is literally means new flower. To be a flower, not only to be in day, but also to be at night. The evening looks more smarter. The evening looks attractive. It helps people also to have a wide variety, a wide scope to see the evening. If you come to Adwa Museum area, people are spending their time even until late night, until 9, with their kids. Their kids are enjoying the fountains, the lights, and also the walking. And those things makes Addis to be, for me, as a bride. And hopefully there will be a big wedding for Addis Ababa to be crowned.
And finally, Sudanese journalist Maki Al-Mughrabi has hailed the Ankara Declaration recently signed between Ethiopia and Somalia as a pivotal step toward reducing tensions and advancing regional collaboration. In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation's Addis Dialogue program, Al-Mughrabi underscored the need for robust international backing to secure peace in the Horn of Africa, and advocated for prioritizing African-led solutions to address the continent's pressing challenges. Johannes Fantaun has more on that.
In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation Addis Dialogue program, Maki El-Mughrabi, a Sudanese press writer specializing in African affairs, expressed optimism about the recent Ankara declaration signed between Ethiopia and Somalia. El-Mogwabi noted that the historical complexities between Ethiopia and Somalia has often strained relations, but the new agreement provides a foundation for both nations to move forward with mutual understanding. This declaration is a significant step in settling the tensions and paving the way for sustained cooperation, he remarked.
Ethiopia wants economic development, it has its own plans, and also it has enough challenges and conflict that by 100% Ethiopian government don't seek war. Also on the Somali side, and also I'm common guest also to Mogadishu, Addis Ababa, all the capitals and the beautiful cities of the Horn of Africa, I know the Somali government, they don't want war at all. They had enough history of war in their life, and they want to build their country. They don't want war. And I think Ankara Declaration will continue, and the direct Ethiopian-Somali negotiation will continue, and I think the two countries will be together again very soon.
El-Mogwabi also addressed the role of the international community in supporting peace efforts in Africa. The international community has a moral responsibility to back peace-building efforts in the Horn of Africa, he explained.
It is good to have them on board with African, but I depend on African role from the region, from the neighboring countries, that they will support and push the agreement, and the peace will be between Somalia and Ethiopia. And look at us, just like us in Sudan, we want peace between Ethiopia and Somalia, definitely, because we have enough war in our country, we have enough war in our region, and we want a model of success to happen in front of our eyes. And also, during the Ankara Declaration, Erdogan himself, the Turkish president, he declared also good efforts in the Sudanese file. So that for us, we push this, and we like this, we support this, and I want others from the West and international community to be more serious in supporting peace in Ethiopia.
In discussing the broader challenges facing the continent, El-Mogwabi emphasized the importance of Africa-led solutions. Africa must take ownership of its problems and their solutions, he said.
The idea of African solution for African problems means that countries like Ethiopia should participate in the peace and security of the region. All countries, Sudan, Somalia, all countries in the region should participate in the peace and security. And that is a good point from Ankara Declaration.
According to the writer, the success of the Ethiopian-Somalia agreement could serve as a model for how African nations can resolve conflicts within their own borders.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching EBC World English News, and now a quick recap of the top stories. Sudan journalist hails Ankara Declaration as a key step toward regional peace and cooperation. And tourism expert says Ethiopia's diverse attractions and recent improvements position it as a top destination. And with that, we come to the end of today's news. Many thanks for watching us. Bye-bye.